Hello and Happy New Year and welcome back to this build series. This is episode 26. Now for 8 months I've been building a rolling ball sculpture from copper wire. So far I've produced 25 videos which have allowed my subscribers to follow along and see the whole process, including my mistakes. I started off with getting all the parts together and making a baseboard that contained and hid all of the electronics. On the top surface there are switches and a motor. Plan A was to build a chain lift for the balls, but this failed to work well enough. Downhill sections include 3 different ways down, using flip-flop gates to switch the balls between the left and the right. Interesting elements include a bumpy track, a collection plate at the bottom, a vertical spiral and a horizontal spiral. In December last month, I decided to scrap off the chain lift and replace it with a vertical helical spiral instead. And in this video, I'm mounting the motor which will power the lift. So, let's get soldering. Last week I did a little bit of brazing to replace this copper tube here and to add on this tube here and to add in this little bit of bent copper tube here. This gives me a very solid and upright starting point. The top of the helicoil has got a small hole and inside that I've got another piece of bent tube, and then in order to set the distance between the upright here and the upright here, I'm using one of these inline connectors which allows for a 3mm copper tube on both sides, and using an Allen key I can set where the grub screw is in order to change the pitch between here and here. That's important because it allows the balls to be set at exactly the right position on the helicoil spiral, which means that they won't fall down to the left or to the right. So I've got the motor mounted onto the bracket now. It was a little bit wobbly, so I've added a diagonal brace on here, which keeps the motor from moving on the bracket. It's screwed down in 3 places, so there's a screw in there that goes into an existing hole, and I've added an extra plate which is soldered on, and that's got 2 M3 bolts that go into some little T-nuts that I've bought that get pressed into the wood and provide a M3 threaded hole in the baseboard. That's all hidden under this plate. The motor's wired up, it does work, and I can control the speed obviously, and it's working well. It was really difficult to assemble. I had to use about 3 sets of fingers all in different positions to try to get the chain onto this sprocket and onto the helical sprocket and get everything level and tight and at the right distance. So there's quite a few false starts getting the chain at different lengths, etc. But I just need to sort the ball loading to make sure it's fully reliable. I'll give it a little run and then I'll show you how it looks. So the process of extending the project by about 5 weeks to replace the ball lifting mechanism is kind of up. I did go away for Christmas and New Year, so I haven't spent an awful lot of time on it since the last episode, but what I've got done now is a working helical lift, and that is a great milestone. Now I need to get the balls back down again, and so what I'll be doing is doing a run from the top that will go all the way over to the left, which will distribute the balls over there more and join it up with the top here. I've also got the 2 tracks that I temporarily took out that I need to replace because the helical lift is now finished. Then it's the ecoskeleton and the LEDs to be fitted, and we can call the project pretty much done. A little bit of tidying up of the wires to do and polishing it all up, and then it will be for sale and I can move on to the next project. So please comment, like, share and subscribe should you wish. If you're watching this in the future, then just go to the playlist and see the next episode. Until then, thanks again once more. Goodbye.